Tired of missing out on the experience? Listen to the MC Experience on SoundCloud.com/MCX Podcast and follow MCX Podcast on Twitter for updates. Until then, this is MCX Replay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Michael Karvelis. This is Chris Jeffers, as always. And today we have a very special guest. It's our first guest of the show on the MC Experience. It is Dylan Maraca. What's up, guys?
What's up, man? Just hanging in.
That sounded awful. Hanging in?
Well, you know, it's Monday.
Yes. I think Monday's more of a moral thing, though. Mind game. I think it's a mind game.
Well, you know, it's actually supposed to be Wednesday, but you wanted to record on a Monday for some reason. But it's okay, because I guess we'll agree with your stupid decisions.
Yes, and Dylan is going to have a fun time today because we're going to three's a crowd, man. So let's go and get this thing started.
We're going to break them in. We're going to break them in.
Oh, that sounds nice. Okay. So our first big news, of course, Chris, we got to get to Tony No-Mo. No, or Tony Romo.
Yeah.
You're the NFL expert, buddy. We'll get your take, then Dylan's take.
Dylan's take. Oh, God.
Yes. First take, baby.
My take is, 2014, Romo had a very productive year, 32 touchdowns. Wasn't a bad year, and he hasn't really had a bad year since 2010, even though those injuries have started happening on him left and right. But, you know, with the clavicle and the broken back now, kind of question his future in Dallas. And you got a rookie from Mississippi State, Dak Prescott. You know, what's the future hold behind that great old line? And then you have, you know, Ezekiel Elliott. What can Dallas do this year? And I had them as, you know, maybe division winners, but now that's really going to the Giants now.
What about you, Dylan?
No comment.
No comment. That's good. See, Chris, we're doing a good job, man. We overpowered him already.
Wow. We backed him into a corner with that one.
Yes. Okay, just like McGregor did to Diaz. So, yeah, he likes that.
We're gonna talk about that again.
Someone tells me you guys have talked about that in the past.
Well, Dylan was there watching the fight with me, and he's a McGregor fan.
Okay.
And I watched the whole first podcast, so.
Yeah, he listened to the whole first podcast of us and all that good stuff.
That's good. I believe we're up to 26 views now, which is great.
Yeah, he's probably 20 of those.
Little playbacks, man. We're called Dylan Little Playback Guy, right?
Hey, I like Dylan as the Coach Kavanaugh.
What the heck is that?
Okay, well, that would be an inside joke for next time.
Okay, so my take on the Tony Romo situation. I think that Tony Romo, Chris, I've already talked to you about this, about the hashtag Make America's Team Great Again. I think that perfectly sums up this season. It's not that Tony Romo could not return this year. It's that I think Dak Prescott, even if Tony Romo comes back in, let's say week 6 or week 10, whichever one, whatever happens, he's got 1 year to win the Super Bowl. And I think if he does not win the Super Bowl, I think it's that simple. I think Dak Prescott, they go with him next year. I saw something on First Take this morning about should Tony Romo consider retirement? The dude's back is out. He's 36 years old. Is it time for him to go? I think that's a big thing. Like, I do believe that it's the end for Tony Romo. I think it's long overdue, like Mark Richt with the Georgia Bulldogs with his coaching tenure. But I do think that Tony Romo, I think he's blew it, and he blew it by blowing out his back.
Yeah, well, Cliff Averill looked like a dirty hit for me. But
it did.
But here's what you got to throw into question. Is Dak that guy? We've seen the preseason games from him. You know, he has more touchdowns than he does incomplete passes, or did the first 3 weeks of the preseason. But here's what you got to throw in there. We've seen Robert Griffin III. We've seen Colin Kaepernick. We've seen Nick Foles run a fast offense in Philadelphia with Chip Kelly and, 27 touchdowns, 2 picks his first year there. But when you see Robert Griffin III and Colin Kaepernick and guys like Geno Smith and who's another, there's probably one that's really excelled at it, and that's Russell Wilson. But that's another story. That's a product of, the great coaching and great defense. But
Yeah.
Dak is more of a Colin Kaepernick, a Tim Tebow, a Robert Griffin III. Can he throw the ball? Well, time will tell. I mean, Tim Tebow's got that playoff win, and those scramblers now. It takes 1 year, and then these defenses start figuring out what's going on, and boom, we've seen what's happened with Kaepernick and Robert Griffin III now, trying to resurge their seasons.
I'm so glad you said that because, like I'm sure, like that Dylan could probably. This is where he could elaborate on. Dylan, you may not be like as into the sports as you mentioned before the podcast as we are, but you could probably see as a fan, guys that he mentioned. You probably know very well about what he's talking about, don't you?
More or less.
Well, and see, I think Mike Vick is like one of the first ones.
Yeah, and he knows Mike Vick.
You do not.
No of them.
He knows of him. He knows he played for the Falcons, and
Yeah.
he knows Michael Vick and Peyton Manning are two different types of players.
Yeah, it's the naked eye can see that, and so when you start looking at this, and I do like what you said about how 1 year, because that was my big thing about RG3 was 1 year they're going to figure him out. It is because you're not game planning for a Baylor quarterback, even if he is pick number 2 in the draft. You're not planning for him. You're planning for a guy like Andrew Luck, who was established as a passer, and not just because he was a good athlete. And so I think that's a big thing. And Dak Prescott, my biggest controversy with him is that you're right. He could be a product of the Cowboys system this year, but the problem is I saw him at Mississippi State. I never saw what I'm seeing now, so I don't know how much this is going to keep happening.
Yeah, and I agree. I know the odds are against Dak Prescott, but I'm gonna buy it and say that he's gonna do really well just because of how well that offensive line is. His weapons around him. You got Dez Bryant, Cole Beasley, Terrence Williams, Bryce Butler, who I really like. Then you also got Witten in there, who could be a security blanket. The run game's gonna be reliable. So Dak, he was just able to run around the pocket. So was Elliott. He was able to run through any hole the other day against the Seahawks. It was crazy.
Yeah, see, I didn't even see the highlights of that game.
It looked really good.
Yeah, but I did see the stats, and that was all I needed to see because I've seen him before. But so that was our first ever buy or sell coming from Chris. He's going to buy into Dak Prescott. We're just going to give Dylan, let's say, just give me a buy or sell on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
What? Say that again?
Dylan, you're killing me. Dylan is killing. You got to tell me this. Are you buying or selling Dak Prescott?
Buying or selling? Do you think that's...
I'm selling.
You're going to sell it?
You're okay. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to sell Dak Prescott this year, but I'm going to buy into what they can do with him in there anyways.
What do you got the over under on their wins? I'm going to say 8-8 with Dak.
Oh, I got to go light. I still got to go 9. I got to go.
Well, then that's buying. That's all. That could be a playoff berth, depending on how the NFC.
I think you're right. NFC, now, they mentioned this year, like that Russell Wilson, after the second half last season, he's back again. Panthers, of course, are there. Cardinals are nothing to be ashamed of. Packers with Jordan Nelson coming back. So it's a very deep NFC right now. You can't count out the Vikings. I said that in the last podcast.
And I think locks right now are Seahawks, Cardinals, and Packers. Those are 3 teams, 3 of the 6. That's half. I think those 3 are locks.
See, and I can't even give the Panthers a lock. I'm glad you said that.
I can't give the Panthers a lock, even though they had a lot of injuries last year. They didn't have Kelvin Benjamin. I still think it's going to be a decline this year.
I'm going to tell you something about Kelvin Benjamin real quick before we leave this topic on Tony Romo. Kelvin Benjamin, to me, I think I have not, unless it's like guys like Chris Jeffers or maybe a little bit under that because nobody's Chris Jeffers, my man. But like
the Chris Jeffers, come on.
The Chris Jeffers show, man. But I do think that like what was I just saying? Crap.
Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, I do think Kelvin Benjamin. I don't think a lot of people have forgotten about him. I mean, remember his first year, like he came onto the scene great, and then the second year was like as soon as he went down, they were doubting the Panthers, and then all of a sudden Cam Newton and Josh Norman stole the show. Like what happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. Greg Olsen, Jonathan Stewart played a tremendous season, came out of nowhere, and then guys like Ted Ginn showed up and Devin Funchess from Michigan. It was crazy how those two came out of nowhere, and I didn't think they would go 15-1 without Kelvin Benjamin. But, I got Kelvin Benjamin in fantasy this year. His rookie season, he kind of competed with those top guys like Beckham Jr. and Mike Evans. 73 catches, 1,009 yards, and 9 touchdowns, coming right off the top of my head. Exact stats.
He did. Kelvin Benjamin was a beast. Kelvin Benjamin, he came from Florida State, right? The national championship team.
Yeah, he got that last touchdown versus Auburn.
Yeah, that was when I fell in love with him. When he was so athletic, and I think he's like 6'4", but he's so athletic, like the way he can jump up and land his feet. It was incredible. I loved every bit of that game with Kelvin Benjamin, not Jameis Winston.
Coming out of that draft with all those receivers that came out of there,
yeah,
I was really hoping Pittsburgh could have landed Kelvin Benjamin or Mike Evans. Mike Evans obviously went 7 to Tampa Bay.
And Mike Evans, remember, he was the guy. He was Johnny Manziel's target when he was burning defenses with his. He's like Ted Ginn, except he could actually hold on to the football. Sorry, Ted Ginn. I'm serious. Like, that's incredible. Dylan, do you have a fantasy team, buddy?
I do not.
Well, that's a shame.
I tried to get him in there with us this year. He wasn't taking it.
Well, that's good that we did offer Dylan Morocco, the Dylan Morocco, because he's our first guest, man. We got to give him love and support, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Salute.
I'm telling you. I don't even know what that means.
He's stoked to be on the podcast.
All right, so let's get into, like, we're going to mention Cam Newton, right, Chris?
Yeah. However, we're going to go with the top players in fantasy, right?
Yeah. So, like, let's start with this fantasy. I think it's great because Cam Newton is the guy. He's like Steph Curry of the NFL, okay? Every average fan has got Cam Newton this and Cam Newton doing that. Is it just... I'm asking you a question, Chris. Do you think his fantasy is... Because we don't like his passing. What about his running? Is it worth it to have him that high fantasy?
Yeah, and see, the guy in our draft took him 1 overall. That's before Brown. That's before Le'Veon Bell. That's before Gurley, before Elliott. You get the picture. Cam Newton, his running game isn't going to be worth that. He's also another one of those guys in there kind of fit. He wasn't being stopped, and defenses weren't really figuring him out. But he's never been a 5,000-yard passer, and I don't think he ever will be.
Nope.
He's multi. He can use his legs. He can use his arms. And we've seen that since day one. But, I don't think he's ever going to come out as a legitimate passer and throw up 35 touchdowns and, 5 picks like Aaron Rodgers did a few years ago. What did he throw, 42 and 6? Yeah, 42 and 6. And what, MVP? That was crazy. And, we'll just never see that from Cam. His legs aren't worth it. He got, 7 touchdowns on the ground last year? If you're going to settle for a quarterback like that...
Aaron Rodgers,
it's gonna blow my mind to go Cam Newton that early.
My big thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that Aaron Rodgers thing, because I think fantasy, sometimes players are actually better in fantasy points instead of actual stats. Because I think, but then again, you mentioned his interceptions. I think that could absolutely kill a fantasy team. And if he has one bad game, that could be the difference for how good you are in the seeding and how good you are in playoff seeding.
Right.
And I think Aaron Rodgers, you're right, does not throw those interceptions. But he's to me, I hate to compare Andrew Luck, because what has Andrew Luck done so far for my Colts? Well, but Andrew Luck can run, though.
And Andrew Luck's going to have a good year this year.
Yeah, he will.
Which you're fortunate to have Andrew Luck and Rodgers on your team this year.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers, he better not get injured. I'm going to have to kill him.
Well,
I'll finish him off.
But that offense is going to be stacked this year. Just know that. With Jordy Nelson coming back.
I love the reactions from Dylan, by the way. That's I do like this podcast already.
Do you? It's 13 minutes in. I have a feeling we're going to stretch for another hour.
Let's do it, man. It's the very first 2 episodes. Let's do it. If we can.
Okay, so can we rewind a little bit?
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, so fantasy football.
Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. We can explain to you.
Yeah, so I know you pick imaginary teams, but I don't know 100% exactly what it is. Could you give me a little explanation?
I'll go first.
Little insight.
Yeah, Chris will elaborate, and I'll go first. Basically, I'll like explain the process. It's like a fantasy team where obviously the first thing you do is there's 10 teams, let's say, and you can't just draft your entire miracle fantasy dream team, which would be nice, but it would be impossible to do that. But what ends up happening is each team, each player plays each other each week. and like they like have these little stats, and Chris can elaborate on the stats more, like touchdowns get you points, passing yards get you points as quarterbacks, interceptions will downgrade your points. But you basically predict based on the matchup that your individual player has how well he's going to perform, and that's where I think Chris can elaborate on the wide receiver part of it too, where you have to really predict on is the quarterback going to target this guy this week.
Yeah, it's really, really, people think it's luck, but it's a lot of brain. You got to think about it when it comes down to it. You obviously want to target guys with good quarterbacks, like 2012 Peyton Manning when he threw, 55 touchdowns up?
Yeah.
You wanted to go after that Demaryius Thomas. You wanted that Eric Decker. You maybe have wanted that Wes Welker and Julius Thomas. Julius Thomas did really well at tight end. But I think they go up they got teams of 8, 10, and 12. We usually do 10 standard scoring, which is 6 points for a passing touchdown. And, 6 points for receiving touchdown. They got punt return touchdowns. I don't think we do kickoff touchdowns in this one. Then you got PPR, points per reception, which those guys like James White, Deion Lewis, Duke Johnson come in handy. Theo Reddick come out of the backfield catching passes. But, that's pretty much fantasy.
And I'll put it this way, like Dylan, to more explain this, you probably have heard about the fantasy gambling online, which is like, is it gambling or not? The big thing where I can make an argument on why it should be legal is it's not luck like you would think it would be, but like what Chris just mentioned, like you have to pick out, like when Peyton Manning's having a great year, you have to pick up Julius Thomas or Eric Decker off the waivers, and you have to say, okay, Peyton's going to target this guy, and I'm betting that this guy's going to help me win my entire fantasy. Because when it comes to the money line, the business aspect of it, and in those fantasy leagues, it's a very tough thing to do, because you could lose a lot of money by just throwing up your random opinions as just a random fan.
And he's familiar with that too, with the UFC betting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of money goes into that.
So Dylan,
that's crazy.
You're a UFC guy.
Oh yeah, I used to be real into it. It was years ago. Back when Joe Rogan still had a little bit of hair left. But I was real into it. Not real, I was not a huge fan, but I'd watch fights here and there, and I was always real interested into it. And I kind of fell away from it from a while.
So you're
and then Chris, I found out he was a big fan of UFC, and he kind of got me into Conor McGregor and Diaz and their whole beef that they've had for a while now. And I went back and watched Diaz versus McGregor, the very first fight that they had. And I just kept watching more and more fights from the past, and it got me excited for this Diaz versus McGregor too. So I went with Chris, and we watched it, and it was pretty cool.
Oh, I'm sure it was at that bar, dude. That would have been fun. Yeah, but
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, they should have. Oh, that's where you're at. At the Wild Wing. No, that's the Wild Wing Cafe. That's the Wild Wing Cafe. So
oh man.
But so that's fantasy for you. I think they should have a fantasy UFC like that.
They got that kind of FanDuel stuff where you could buy a fighter and bet money on them.
Yeah, and then they have Street for the Cash on ESPN Fantasy. Where have you heard of that, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you can literally say okay, this guy's going to knock this guy out in the third round. Do you agree with that? Yes. Why? And
then you got obviously the over-under. They're thinking about doing over-unders with the Anthony Johnson fight because he knocked out Glover in 12 seconds, I think. And they're thinking about doing his fights all over-under because he knocks guys out so fast. And that's a lot of money. There's guys that won $3 million on that fight.
So it's like Ronda Rousey kind of deal. He's knocking guys out like Ronda Rousey did to women.
Yeah, like she did, and then she got beat up by Holly Holm.
And that was the rest is history on that one.
And then Holly Holm got beat up by Misha Tate. So
yes. And let's go to another. So let's keep on doing with the fantasy football thing. Who do you got next? What's another huge name we can really debate about that we were having some fun with?
It's not even a huge name, but it's a name that I got on my team, and it's a name that I got because he's been training with Antonio Brown. He's been down in Florida, with Teddy Bridgewater. They've been training all offseason. It's Jarvis Landry.
See, please explain to me your opinions on that Miami Dolphin fake.
And people don't understand this, and I don't even say anything. I'm just like, okay, man, you'll see this season because I'm still high on Eddie Lacy. I'm still high on Jarvis Landry, and people don't see it. But at the end of the season, I'm always right, and I'm always at the top. So I don't understand how people don't see it. But Jarvis Landry, LSU, obviously his first season coming in. First season, he came in the same season Odell Beckham did. Got 90 catches, but that was pretty good for a rookie season. Last year, he went to 111 catches, went over 1,000 yards. And he had some guys, the distractions, the other guys that wanted the ball. Jordan Cameron obviously wanted the ball over there.
Oh, Cameron's a beast at tight end.
Yeah. And I'm not really high on him this year, but I think Jarvis Landry is going to establish himself again as the top wide receiver, and I think he may come close, top 5, if not top 7 in the NFL. And he's a very good route runner. He's training with the best, Antonio Brown. Very good route runner. There's a whole route tree. There's more weapons on that offense. Obviously, Kenny Stills, Brandon Gibson's over there, Devontae Parker. So, I think they'll take some of the attention away from Jarvis Landry, but I think Jarvis Landry's going to get, over 180 targets.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate on something before I go off on this man? Would you like to explain your insider?
You take it from here, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Chris Jeffers.
Yeah.
I said in the last podcast, I'm going to say it again. You are an incredible mind at this NFL thing. I was put in my place whenever we first met. Well, not when we first met, but when I found out you were a football fan, you just started spitting off bull crap to me. I could not believe how amazing. It made me feel like I had not even watched a single football game, which is a complete lie. But that brings me to my point. Okay. Jarvis Landry.
Hey, before you say this, he was a top 15 wide receiver last year, just so you know. In fantasy, top 15, just so you know.
Okay. And Dylan, I'm going to see you. Dylan, I'm going to ask you something. Have you ever heard of a guy named Ryan Tannehill?
I have not.
Thank you. The average fan, Chris Jeffers, has no idea and could care less on who Ryan Fake Hill is.
Fake Hill?
I'm thinking of a stupid nickname for him. Ryan Tannehill, there's been numerous stories on how he is not going to progress. And I'm like, progress into what? What was his ceiling? To the roof of his house? Like, there was no skyscraper that Ryan Tannehill is going to come through and do it. Oh, what a player. No. And you're going to rely on... Now, I'm with you on the Jarvis Landry thing, but I take Cam over Ryan Tannehill, and that's a bold statement from me. Because he's white, and Cam is... I'm just saying.
Well...
Come on.
These average fans and guys like you that...
No offense, Dylan.
I just...
No.
I don't know where y'all
guys
are...
like me don't care as much.
I don't know where you guys are going with this Ryan Tannehill stuff. I really don't, because the guy's thrown over 24 touchdowns the past 3 years, and he's went over...
Wow.
He's went over 4,000 the past 2. I don't know what was ever expected of him, but his first 4 years, he's looked a lot better than Big Ben did, Tom Brady did, Peyton Manning did. He's looked a lot better than a lot of these top 5 quarterbacks. Eli Manning, where's Phillip Rivers at? Has he got the playoffs yet? Has he got a Super Bowl? No, and he's from NC State. 13 years, 12, 13 years pro. And look, Ryan Tannehill's still got 7, 8 years around him. And you got to remember, the Dolphins were rebuilding. They're just now getting Jarvis Landry. They're just now getting Devontae Parker. They're just now establishing a run game with Jay Ajayi and Arian Foster. They're just now revamping the defense with Rashad Jones in the back and Kiko Alonso in the backers. You got to understand, it all doesn't come down to one position. It took Eli Manning a while to get his ring. He didn't go in his first 3 years and do it. No, nobody does. Some people may come close, but it's because the other parts of the team were established already. But when you got Ryan Tannehill coming into a Dolphins organization, they knew they were going to rebuild.
And okay, Chris, come on. You think the Dolphins, after the bullying from that bullcrapper?
What was his name?
Was his name?
Do not accuse him if you do not know his name.
No, I know his name. As soon as you say his name, I will cuss him out.
Do not accuse him.
No, is it Ron?
Don't bring that situation up if you do not know his name.
I'm going to bring it up. I'm like Ryan or something. No.
Do not bring it up if you do not know his name. It's Richie Incognito.
Oh, okay, it's time to roll now. Chris, this podcast, how far are we into this? 25 minutes?
Yeah, 25 minutes. Whoa. Before you say that, where is he at now? Where does Richie Incognito play now?
Where?
Yeah, where's he play now?
Where?
No, I thought you knew because you were elaborating on the decision.
Where?
The Buffalo Bills.
Wow!
Yeah, he plays for the Bills. But anyways, I thought you... All right, go ahead.
So now he can ruin the Bills organization.
And he hasn't. Last year, I think he made the Pro Bowl.
Wow. So now we went from calling him a complete racist and just jerk to let's vote him into the Pro Bowl, guys. What has he done? What? You say a Dolphin organization, and they also Chris, who did they draft this year? Who was their first pick and what happened to him?
Laramie Tunsil.
Wow. Okay, so tell me what Laramie Tunsil's a good player, but tell me exactly what happened 5 seconds after he was drafted.
No, it happened before he was drafted.
My bad. 5 minutes before.
No, it wasn't even 5 minutes before. It was like 20 minutes before because he was supposed to go in the top 5.
Go ahead, you statistic freak. Go ahead.
Anyways, his Twitter was hacked, and there was a picture that surfaced. You gonna let me finish, or do you want to go since you know more about it than I do?
I'm enjoying this. Go ahead.
Okay, so 2008, a picture resurfaced this year from 2008, and it was him in a smoke mask. I don't know what you'd call it, but he appeared to be smoking marijuana. Could have been anybody. You didn't see his face clearly. But anyways, what does this have to do with Ryan Tannehill and Jarvis Landry being a freaking stout offense?
Oh no, they're gonna. I'll take Jordan Cameron.
Yeah, the guy that just dropped a wide open pass that hit him in the hands the other day. Jeez.
How many guys? Also, Antonio Brown's never done that.
Actually, not in the past 3 years. No.
Wow. Okay, he's had no drops in the last 3 years.
No, he did against the Jets. And no. It wasn't even a drop. It was actually a fumble against the Jets. But I said that hit him straight in the hands.
So keeping on fantasy, right?
Wide open, by the way.
Keeping on fantasy, Jarvis Landry. Here's where I'm going to make my big picture coming to this guy about this. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not even going to talk about Jarvis Landry because he's not even in the question to me.
But to finish that, Antonio Brown can afford to have drops. Dude's a beast. Jordan Cameron, he's trying to make a roster. He can't afford to have any drops.
He doesn't make a roster.
He's got some competition back there in Miami.
Wow. Okay, because tight end is such a hungry position nowadays. My big thing with this, you look at Ryan Tannehill and you look at the organization, you bring up the great Miami Dolphins organization, who the only reason they continue to be relevant is because of their sweet little dolphinness and neon green with neon orange colors. And then they get a Super Bowl every 5 years because they can't get anywhere else. They've been rebuilding for 30 years, except for a 16-0 season.
Where does this come from?
Where does it come from? You look. What I'm saying is like your fantasy about Jarvis Landry. I'm not saying Jarvis Landry isn't a good player. I'm saying the situation he's in is not good. That's why I'm saying he's not a good fantasy player.
The guy has had 90 interceptions. 90 receptions his rookie year, 111 his second year. That's going up, if I'm not mistaken, unless they changed meaning the past couple of years.
I do think but like I said,
and not to mention Ryan Tannehill's stats are going up, 4,000 yards the past 2 years. I mean, he's not playing bad. He played better than Peyton Manning last year. The great Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning had a numb neck, and he was like 55,000 years old.
Oh, so we're going to use that excuse. So that's Ryan Tannehill's fault?
That's Ryan Tannehill's fault.
That's Ryan Tannehill's fault.
Ryan Tannehill. Let's not even talk about faults. Because Ryan Tannehill, with the organization he was in, he should have been doing well, 4,000 yards.
I hope you know he's got 4 seasons in. It took a lot of these quarterbacks.
What?
Like I said, Big Ben was not a top 5 quarterback in his first 5 years.
Oh, I know. I've watched a documentary on him. Big Ben Roethlisberger, man.
What college did he go to?
Oh my gosh!
You don't watch no documentary on him.
I'm not paying attention because, unlike you, I did not pay attention to the documentary. I did not pay attention to the college that the guy went to. I don't say this offensive lineman is so great. What college did he go to? I don't give a crap. He probably didn't even get a degree anyways.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Thank you. Okay, so next, that was fun though. Dylan, how'd you like that one, buddy?
Hey, I like that.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying myself.
I think he wants to talk some UFC with you, Mike.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm not even a big UFC fan, but I'll put it this way. I think Ronda Rousey What do you think about Ronda Rousey, Dylan?
I don't know much about her, but I know she is a good fighter. I know she. I forgot the. I watched the fight. She got knocked out, head kick by somebody.
Holly Holm.
Yeah, there you go. You're just talking about her, and they were saying that was ruining her career and stuff, and like the same thing was happening with McGregor and Diaz. And yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, and can I bring up a sensitive topic while we're doing it?
Go ahead.
Chris, you want to ground break this entire podcast series that we're going to do?
Go for it.
All right, dude. Here's the thing about this. I think a lot of these UFC fighters, I think, like, the fact... I'm sorry, Chris, I'm going to bring this up on the podcast. Nate Diaz could not even spell the word accept in terms of I accept the fight.
And the guy doesn't have to. He's sitting on $2 million right now from one fight, more than we'll ever see.
You don't know that. I'm not saying what... I'm just saying. But my big...
Hey, if you think we're going to be millionaires, I'll agree with you.
It's a lot of dudes...
I want to be a millionaire.
Everybody wants to be a millionaire.
Sing that again?
Like,
Yeah.
I just want to be a millionaire. Dude, like Travis McCoy and Bruno Mars, baby.
Record that and
Oh,
send me
man.
that. I got to use that as a ringtone. Somewhere Greg Parker's listening to this laughing right now.
Get out.
Finish what you're saying.
Okay, so like the sensitive talk, man, and I know you guys are not going to see this coming. A lot of these UFC fighters, I think, get more credit than what is due because they're these nasty, and I'm going to use this term, nasty, uneducated people who grew up from nothing, who are just these nasty savages. What appeals to that with people like watching? I mean, I think Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor had a great fight. But you can tell by the way that they talk about the dude's by the way the dude spells accept on a pinned tweet, on how terrible of a passer they've had. Do you think that somehow that they get more recognition because like they're these nasty savages? Like, what is the appeal to that?
And I think Dylan agree with me here. Entertainment, the way their personalities are, that's what makes you want to watch it. That's what makes you want to buy it. That's why I like Diaz. I like that be real, don't care what anybody thinks attitude. The dude he probably saw autocorrect that spelled it accept right, and he don't
Right.
He don't care at all. That's what I like him, and I know Dylan can elaborate on why he likes McGregor.
Yeah, they're a little bit similar in ways, but they're different in a lot of ways too. Like I've been watching interviews and just all kind of fights like building up to Diaz versus McGregor too, and it's real entertaining just to watch them, like how they act, their personalities. Like at interviews, they'll sit there and just trash talk the whole time, and it's hilarious, and I love it.
Dylan?
And that's why I wanted to see the fight so bad, because the beef that was built between them, it's pretty...
Real beef.
Yeah.
This is no game.
Hey,
What were you saying?
like, hey, Arby's, we have the beef. So, like, and I'm wondering, like, one thing that the thing that set this whole conversation off for me, I said on my last podcast I did on August 24th on SoundCloud, I said that Conor McGregor really upset me whenever he mentioned, you should have killed me when you had the chance. Like, the way he said that, not only did it sound like a movie, but it sounded like a complete, uneducated, disgusting person. Like, why can't we just, like, go to, like, I don't want to reuse the G word ghetto here. Why can't we just, like, go to, like, a place, set up a little octagon-shaped arena, and watch them fight instead of paying somebody $2 million of money from our pockets? Like, that's the thing that, like, concerns me about this, is that he said that, and it just made the UFC, I know I'm sounding stupid here to a lot of people who are like it now, but it made a lot of people, like, I don't see why was nobody fazed by him saying such a savage and disgusting comment that would have been fined anywhere else? Why was that okay?
I think it goes straight back to the personalities, who he is. He's $1 million man. Nobody wants to go down to rink in Walmart, set up a octagon in the parking lot, and watch two bums from Effingham fight. You want to go celebrate in Vegas, and you want to watch two of the biggest names that work their ass off. Excuse the language.
Yeah, and they're from two different, or completely different places. So
Yeah, like one of them wants to be from the USA, but clearly is from Mexico. And one of them's from Ireland. Sorry, Chris.
And you got these, so two different personalities. One's a gangster that came up, and the other's, right now just a cocky billionaire, which is good. I like the attitude, and you see it's like a preppy guy versus a, how would we put it, a quiet outcast, I guess.
Yeah.
And, dude, when Nate Diaz is in that ring and just cussing you out and flicking you off and yelling Stockton, it's great. What other fighter in the UFC just walks up there and, starts waving at him and flicking him a bird right there in the middle of the match? I've never seen anybody else do it. Tito Ortiz never did it. Diego Alves never did it.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah.
So it's like, remember those kids in school that you want, like, hot loser? Yeah, now they're the ones making $1 million.
Well, we didn't do that because we don't judge people, man.
Yeah, but
Chris and I were the kind of people.
We are the losers.
Yeah.
Right.
We stayed away from all the cool kids and all the little groups that you would see around at lunch and stuff. We stayed away from all that.
Oh, there you go. That was a nice mic use this there. Do that again.
That was a nice what?
He's close up to his mic now, Chris. We can hear him.
Yeah, it sounds better when you're really up close.
Yeah, you like being up close?
Is this better?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
I like it.
You like being close to us?
Well, we are close right now.
They're so clean. Yeah, so you want to go back to the NFL fantasy, my brother?
No, we do not.
Oh, you want to keep... Okay, we'll keep on talking trash.
We can go with whatever.
Let's go with... I'll talk about anything, man.
Honestly, I'd really like to hear your opinions on what we were talking about the other day with the Jehovah's Witness. And Dylan knows a lot more about all that stuff than I do, so it'd be fun to watch. Or just have an open mind on what you were saying the other day, because I don't know what you were saying about what Jesus' name was.
Oh.
Is that something you'd like to say?
Sure, I guess. I'm not going to get into a big debate here.
But I'd like to see two different sides of it. This would be interesting.
Okay, Dylan, I don't know what denomination you claim to be in.
I am Christian. To get more detailed into it, I'm Mormon.
Oh, okay.
If you know what that is.
Yeah, I know what a Mormon. It's the one that people mistake us for all the time. Like every single time people tell me like, "Oh, you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses." Oh, you're those guys that go up and like with the bikes, and I'm like, you can just go home when you say that. You can say that, but yes, they always tell us that. But
wait, what are you?
Huh?
Yes, what you are.
Yeah, what's your denomination?
Jehovah's Witness.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so like
they mistake us for like you know what a missionary is, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen them around here, like they ride on bikes sometimes.
Yeah, in twos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people mistake them for being Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, that's a crazy like that. Whenever people tell me that, it's like it's disrespectful to both religions.
Yeah, like
it's like people don't know what they're talking about.
It happens. It's really common. Like I've seen it a lot, not just Mormon and Jehovah's Witness, but it's like with any religion you can think of. Everybody's just like uneducated with it, and it's a little irritating at times. But sometimes I just let them be ignorant, and that's sometimes the best thing to do.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Like one thing. Like I may not like. We obviously read the Bible. Like you, I don't know if you read the Book of Mormon personally.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so like while we don't agree there, I would say this. I've always said this. So like, if there was any religion that like I would actually respect, it's the Mormons because of one simple fact: they go out and do what we're criticized for doing, which is go out and preach. You know, no matter what. No matter what you believe, no matter if you believe in Jesus or not. It clearly says, "Go therefore and make disciples of people of all the nations." So, a lot of people like would tell me, like, "Why do you knock on my door?" It's like, why do you not knock on my door?
Right.
But we don't tell them that. But we have to turn the other cheek and get slapped around. But I do think like people. You're right. They're very uneducated. I think Mormons, they do lay back, and I like that you guys are are humble like us. You guys don't sit there and get into all the stupid arguments.
Yeah, it's real. How could I put this? Like, trying to figure out how to say this right.
Go all out. You know what you want to say. Don't hold back. Don't hold back.
Make me furious.
Or go online. No, it's not. It might not even make you furious. It just he doesn't want to offend anybody.
I'll take it. Then I'll take it. Another thing like that, people like this one kid called me like, because you may be able to relate to this. I don't know, like if you guys meet somewhere.
Me and Dylan, or Dylan and his people.
Dylan and more.
Oh, you mean like at church or?
Yeah, like a Kingdom Hall, like what we do, or a church, like the Baptist, or would you guys meet somewhere?
You mean for like?
For worship
Sunday, or
for worship or whatever.
Service. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we have. Well, I don't want to. Well, if you want to get in detail, I can explain what it is. But
go ahead.
We have. So there's like 3 parts of our day at church, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. So first hour is what we call sacrament, and we have the bread and the water, and it represents the blood and the flesh of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And we partake of that, and
the unleavened bread, right?
Yeah, and then we have
yeah, okay.
And so in like a business like within the church gets dealt with in that hour, and we sing hymns, and some people give talks, and it's not just our bishop, which is I guess equivalent to a pastor, a preacher, whatever you like to call it. We have a bishop, so he's like kind of like the head of our church, I guess. Not the whole church combined, but of our specific church. And certain people are assigned or are asked to give talks or not speeches, but talk. And then, so they'll prepare it throughout the week.
What they call that, revival?
I don't know what it's. We assignments. Like I'm glad you actually said something that I never knew, which is I'm very impressed with actually. It's like Chris. It's like a student, like you're trying to like in school, like you're given assignments to do. It's kind of like that, but it's like it's helping you it's helping you guys in your ministry, right? Dylan,
what's that? Say it again. Sorry.
It's helping you guys like in your. It's helping you guys like in your ministry and stuff like that, like to help you become better, effective teachers and whatever.
Well, not. It's more.
It's a learning aspect all the way around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. But if somebody is asked to give a talk, and they could decline it if they wanted to, but most of the time people will go ahead and do it. So they'll probably take maybe 5 or 10 minutes out of the hour to speak on whatever topic that they're asked to speak on.
Yeah.
Something that could be relevant, or not irrelevant, but relevant within the church, or something that is going on or whatever. But through each month we have a certain topic that we focus on. So everything throughout the year is brought up, and so it's kind of like a refreshment, kind of, I guess you could say, throughout the year. So,
hey Dylan.
Yeah.
Here's a good thing. You're spitting out exactly what we do. Here's the thing that we do. On Sunday, some of us meet in the afternoon, some of us meet in the morning. Depending on which place you're in, because some people have 2 congregations that we meet at.
Right.
But ours is in the morning here in Springfield, and what we do. The first one is a visiting person or somebody from our local congregation has it was an hour. It was 45 minutes. Now it's 30 minutes. It's like a talk, like you said. It's like a discourse thing, helping like like a people like doing what you just said, like helping people see like certain things from the Bible, or you said the Book of Mormon, stuff like that. And then so he gives a talk and we listen and we follow along, and there's no like a lot of people think that like a preacher like you do this and you do that, but I don't know how it is you guys, but for us it's like we're like teaching each other at the same time that he's teaching, like that he's helping us. And then afterwards we have an hour-long part called this is the Watchtower. We have a study edition. We participate and comment. We read a paragraph. We comment on life lessons and straight from the Bible that we can learn how to help us get through our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Tuesday nights for us, our midweek part for us, this is on Tuesday night. We have the assignments that you were talking about. We have our we have our little assignments that we do, and people given 2 or 3 weeks in advance. They have a little slip, and they do it, and then like you said, the matter is going on and stuff like that. They're given an assignment, and they do it, and then demonstrations and stuff, and then finally we have a Bible study, which is sort of like a mini Watchtower, but it's from a different book. They're helping us look at Bible examples.
Okay.
But yeah, the big thing I wanted to tell Chris, though, I mentioned to you about the Jesus name thing.
Right.
Here's the thing, a lot of people do not realize. When they hear the name Jehovah's Witness, oh, you guys made that up. Here's the difference with us in that name. We believe that Jesus is God's son and that God has a name. Whenever you see, I'm sure Dylan has seen this, whenever you see a Bible from the Moses and stuff, not the Book of Mormon, but with the Moses and everything, you'll see God and Lord in capital letters, right, Dylan?
Within what exactly?
With the Bible, not the Book of Mormon, the Bible, you'll see God and Lord in capital letters.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's actually God's original name omitted from their Bible. It was that is mentioned over 7,000 times in the Hebrew and Greek scriptures.
Which version of the Bible?
Just mostly a lot of people know the King James. We read the New World Translation. Here's where our translation comes into play. The King James.
Yeah, we have King James.
Yeah, in the beginning, it says we're going to omit because nobody needs to know the name, right? So whenever we did our people that we don't even know who did it did years and years and years of research to find out that his name is actually universally recognized. It's a YHWH. Chris, the Hebrews and Greeks did not use vowels. So the YHWH was they filled in the vowels. So it's Yahweh is the common term. And the English version of that is actually Jehovah, which a lot of people do not realize. It's been around for quite some time, that name. What we did, Chris, you're eating stuff.
Cough drops, man. Get 'em.
I eat cough drops for fun, actually. like a pulse.
Oh, okay. I just looked that up. The
what?
YHW.
Yeah, but that actually is his name. And people do not realize whenever he says Psalms 83:18, it says that people may know that you whose name is. Why would it say God, and why would it not say YHWH? That name is what we pride ourselves on. Jesus was praying to somebody, and it was his father who created him first, and then everything else. So that's our main thing that we tell people is not only is God's kingdom coming, but we believe that that we're going to live forever on the earth, because if Adam and Eve had never sinned, then we would still be on this earth. We don't believe in hell. We do believe that some go to heaven. But the Jehovah thing is the thing that I was telling Chris about, is how much people tell us that oh, you made that up around here, but that goes back to the uneducated part of it. It's not that they're uneducated, it's just that they're told wrong by certain people. They're told
a lot of it is just people maybe making up stuff. They have no idea what they're talking about. And
because a big Dylan, and you may like this illustration. An illustration that's common with us is 1 + 1 is 2 for us, right? If you say if you tell somebody 1 + 1 is 3, and you can give them a way in some way in heck to believe it, they're going to start telling other people. And so, like, whenever people tell us, like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, it's not that they're wrong. It's that the people who told them originally were mistaken, or were doing it as a little.
Yeah. So the root is wrong. So, the tree is going to be wrong.
Yeah, and so you're probably looking up about that name. That name is mentioned 7,000 times in our translation of the Bible. Because the big thing also people realize is that it's not that the Bible, it's not. People say like, oh, nobody knows the real Bible. That may be true that nobody has all of the manuscripts mentioned. However, you probably can relate to this. You have enough information to believe what you need to believe. You have enough.
Yeah.
You have enough information.
100%.
Because he says in the Bible many times that all Scripture is inspired of God and beneficial. So he says all Scripture. If you can have the main course of the meal, a lot of people say that there's just a lot of appetizers.
There are certain things that we are not meant to know. At this point in time.
Because it's like telling a baby, about science. A baby's not going to know that stuff, but as he gets older and learns stuff, he's going to realize it. He's going to realize, and he's going to need to know those things. Right. I never knew that about the Mormons, though. I honestly didn't.
And we've hit.
Wait, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just going to say we hit a lot of topics right here in 50 minutes. We've hit NFL, UFC, Tyra Banks, and religion.
Chris.
We're all over the place.
Chris is actually telling me that he wants to go to bed.
No, I'm fine. I could run this podcast for another few centuries.
Let's do it. Okay, so but I'm glad Dylan that you did elaborate on that because I never knew that. Because
who started this topic?
You.
There we go. So I just created gold again. So once again, I want credit. So I'm going to put a link in the description for everybody when this podcast is done. There's going to be donations in there. I'll take a 10 and I'll donate.
You're going to start getting money like Diaz.
Oh, heck yeah.
We should have a new hashtag, money like Diaz.
We could use it. We already know you create, millions of hashtags, but you're going to have to copyright some for us.
I will. And Make America's Team Great Again is a big one.
And you like that.
I love it, dude.
That was something clever that you're going to have to use when you... Are you going to use that when you go up to vote? Are you voting?
No. Another thing I'm going to tell Dylan about is that we also do not... We choose not to vote. And the reason we do that, not because, we don't want this country being better, because that would be wrong. We believe that Jesus Christ came to earth to signify that God's kingdom is coming, that there was no need for wars. We believe that whenever you vote for somebody besides him, you're saying that we put our trust in mankind. When God has said, whatever happens is going to happen, I'm telling you it's all going to get better because of me. Chris, you are killing me with your noises.
You've got a really good headset, my friend.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I heard it too.
But yeah,
it's called a desk pop.
A desk pop?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever seen the movie The Other Guys? Desk pop?
Yeah. No.
You're missing out on a good comedy movie. You're missing out. I didn't think you watched a lot of good movies.
Oh, I do.
Oh, yeah?
No, we're going to stay on this.
We can talk about movies. I like movies.
We can talk movies?
Let's talk some movies.
Let's talk some movies.
Okay, Chris, I'm going to tell you something.
We can switch it up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This is incredible.
Oh.
I just got something. You want to hear this thing I just got from Meet Me?
From what?
From Meet Me.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It sounds like some weird stuff that only Michael Karvelis would be signed up for.
It's like a dating site.
Oh.
Oh, no.
You want to listen to...
Inform us on that.
Okay. This man is a male from Savannah, Georgia. His username is...
Don't give out his username like that.
No, 100% BJ for whatever. Okay? Okay.
Not suitable for kids.
Are you guys ready for this? Hey, bro, you want a BJ? 100% discreet. Just looking to get you off. What? No. Don't want anything in return.
Stop.
Oh, rewind. Somebody. Wait, what was that? What was this from?
Some dating website he's been searching on.
Be quiet.
He's turning into a freaking...
And he contacted you?
He contacted Michael, yeah.
He's a fake is what he is.
Is he? How would you know that?
Everyone on there is a
He
fake.
talked to him.
So I'm curious what the title for this podcast is going to be, because like I said, we went from talking about NASA to homosexuals messaging Michael. Man, it's went from NFL, UFC, Tyra Banks, NASA, homosexuals messaging Michael, religion. It is hit every base. We might as well start talking about the library in Springfield on 119 now.
One where little kids are vulnerable to everybody in the world.
Oh my gosh.
We start saying it, and go outside and play books. Like, we'll be in here reading books, and you guys will go outside and play big books.
The whole Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy topic is saved for another day. We'll use that on another podcast, Michael.
Hey, Chris.
man.
Chris,
Yeah.
this is your podcast. Would you like to talk some more football?
I told you I could talk whatever, and football just happens to be something I can talk for.
You want to talk basketball?
Basketball. What do you want to talk, NBA?
I would love to talk NBA.
Well, Dylan knows shoes. Dylan likes those basketball shoes. What? We know the players. He knows the shoes
I like
they
the
wear.
select few Jordans, and that's about as far as it goes.
Listen, you creep. Okay.
Creep.
Yeah. You like Michael Jordan, don't you?
Yeah, like his...
Who do you think's better, LeBron or Jordan?
No, I don't care to get into that kind of stuff.
Oh, you don't?
But there isn't really a wrong answer here, Dylan. Give us your opinion.
I'm on now.
Well, I don't know that much about them, so...
Okay.
But I think you could say...
I don't think it would be right for me to...
Just set me off, all right, dude?
Okay, I'll go... I think my opinion's James. I like James better.
Thank you. I'm eating Skittles.
And then we go into... Do you want to talk about the 2012-2013 Memphis Grizzlies? Because I was really high on them.
Are you kidding me?
I was really high on the Grizzlies for about 4 or 5 years when they had Tayshaun
Why?
Prince, Gasol, Anthony Randolph, and Marc Gasol.
Anthony or Zach?
Zach, excuse me. Zach Randolph, the power forward.
Because Anthony Randolph is a terrible player.
Yeah, he's a small forward, right?
Yeah, but you got it, little mixed boy.
Yeah, he used to play for the Nuggets. Oh, that's another team I was really high on with JaVale McGee and Gallinari back in the day. I think that was like 2012. Ty Lawson was really good.
You want to talk video games with sports?
Video games with sports. I've never heard about that.
Here's the thing. Okay, so like I'm like a huge like video game addict when it comes to sports games. Here's the deal on that. Today,
Is that all you play is sports games, or do you...
pretty much,
Yeah.
like pretty much, like all I do is like NBA 2K16 and Madden NFL 11.
Yeah, Madden's the best.
Madden 10 was the best.
Well, Madden 17's the best, dude. They actually can give you the one arm sleeve now. Sick.
I love that, dude. Did I really just say that?
Yeah, you really did just say that.
I love that comment, dude.
Time to end podcast. Bye.
I'm good. I know you want to go to bed, buddy.
I can stay up all night and shoot the freaking rooster. Jeez, man, now we gotta start talking about zoo animals.
Zoo, where are you from?
I think we
Africa?
gotta start talking about Zaxby's now.
Okay, Zaxby's.
Alright, Zaxby's fine.
Hey, life-changing? Maybe. Indescribably good? Definitely.
Are you kidding
Local?
me? What college did Geno Smith go to?
Oh, West Virginia.
There you go. And who was his 2 standout receivers?
I don't know.
Tavon Austin, Stedman Bailey, both Rams. Come on, dude.
Oh. Oh, God. Okay. You know what? Let's get back to the NFL, all right? Because this is like we gotta have a point to this podcast.
And we've danced around the party tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is okay. It's not a big deal.
So the NFL. Who's another big fantasy thing that you want to talk about? We want to talk about Dwayne Allen?
We can go into Dwayne Allen. I got him on my team.
Let's talk about I know you're a little freak. Eddie Lacy and Dwayne Allen.
So why are we dissecting my team? Because I'm the champion? Is that what you're saying? You're already going to crown me?
All right.
Uh-oh.
All right, buddy. Hold on.
Y'all want to get in the ring?
No. I'm going to give Chris a ring, though.
You better, because I'm going to win. So you might as well give me that ring. Go ahead and cap it off.
Do you want me to put it on your ring finger, too, so we can have fun?
I guess you could do that.
Ew. Okay,
Yes, this podcast is somehow brought to you by something gay Michael has been implying the whole podcast.
only with you.
Is that your title?
It's going to have to be because Michael has implied some very homo stuff.
Okay, so I have Aaron Rodgers, Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not going to get into Frank Gore. T.Y. Hilton, Golden Tate, Jason Witten, Dante Moncrief, the Texans, and the Panthers defense, and Matt Bryant at kicker. And if that wasn't enough, my bench is what makes me the champion. Andrew Luck, the Panthers defense, as aforementioned, Adam Vinatieri, Jordan Cameron, Chris Jeffers, Ted Ginn Jr., Laquan Treadwell, and Darren Sproles.
And I know not a lot of the guys that listen to this podcast, or maybe somebody will stumble upon it. I know they don't follow that much fantasy like I do, but yes, Michael is carrying 2 top 10 defenses, which doesn't make any sense. He's also carrying 2 top 10 quarterbacks, which makes no sense to me either. Makes no sense.
Well, that's just because I'm a really good drafter and you guys were awful.
Oh, and he's also got 1, 2, 3, 4 Indianapolis Colts on his team. Three of which are in the starting lineup.
Get out.
So if the Colts have a bad day, obviously Michael's going to lose that week. And, he's going to have to rely on Ezekiel Elliott. And it's looking like Golden Tate may step up, may not, but we'll see.
Okay, so Chris, I'm Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you about this little Giaz Brothers Beast Mode squad. Okay.
Whoa.
Eli
Dylan, before he elaborates, go ahead and tell him, nobody knows it like I do.
I'll tell you that.
Oh, why are you trying to go against it?
Okay. Eli Manning, I like he's going to have a great season. We already said that in the first podcast. Lamar Miller.
Hey, listen, before you elaborate on him.
Go ahead.
Just before you elaborate, I want you to know he was ranked 6 in fantasy last year. Ranked 6.
Ow! When did we just, Dylan, didn't we just have like this one and done topic about quarterbacks? Why can't it apply to the running backs?
Well, because quarterbacks
who are no longer relevant in fantasy, by the way.
Who?
Running backs.
You don't think so?
I didn't say I do think they are, but not as much.
Well, see, the whole point is here, you have 2 top 10 quarterbacks, which makes no sense to have them both. I understand if you want to switch them out, but obviously Aaron Rodgers you could keep and keep himself only. You don't have to keep Luck too, or you can keep Luck as well. You could use the other as trade bait, and you just haven't put off on a trade yet, which, I don't know, a lot of people don't carry 2 quarterbacks. Obviously, I don't, and I've won leagues many times with carrying 1 quarterback, and it's usually been just Big Ben Roethlisberger.
All right. That's where you lost me. You have Antonio Brown and Eddie Lacy. We're about to get started on that guy. Jarvis Lyon.
I've already elaborated on him, so.
Dwayne Allen, a questionable Carlos Hyde.
Concussion protocol. The season doesn't start till the 12th, so I don't want you getting your panties in a little twist there, man.
The Raiders defense. I'll take it.
They were ranked top 20 last year.
And your little Steelers, Clint Boswell.
Chris Boswell, not Clint.
How do you even say that? Boswell. Hey, I got my hair back with Boswell-y. Dylan likes it. Okay.
It's because he has no clue what you're talking about.
I know what Bosley is, so that's why I left.
Okay, we have Kelvin.
You guys ever heard about the Adjustment Bureau? I can't even talk. The Adjustment Bureau. It's a movie, came out 2011.
Nope.
Never heard of it?
No.
Well, I haven't either.
Rings a bell, but I draw a blank.
I don't know how I haven't heard of it, because I like movies, but it's pretty good. Check it out.
And Chris, you have 2 Cleveland Browns running backs.
Listen here. I'm trying to tell you why you're wrong.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Everybody hates on who excels at what they do the best. It's been proved before.
Hey, you're right about that.
Everybody hates who excels at what they do. And whoever,
we were just talking about that, though.
We were just talking about that. I'm the best in the world at what I do, and it just so happens right now it's running the best podcast in the world. And on here, it's having the best fantasy team. Hugh Jackson, former Bengals offensive coordinator last year and many years before that, brought in Jeremy Hill from LSU, brought in Giovanni Bernard from North Carolina, formed a great duo. Hey, guess what? Jeremy Hill led the NFL in 11 touchdowns rushing last year. So listen, he's the head coach of Cleveland now. He's got Isaiah Crowell, which is very similar to Jeremy Hill. He's got Duke Johnson, which is very similar to Duke Johnson. And you're making really weird gestures right now on video, which is creeping the fans out. So 2 running backs. Obviously, I'm not going to get into my strategy on how I'm going to use them, but both of them can create splash plays, and I got plenty of depth to carry both running backs. So,
okay. Jordan Matthews.
Another top 20 wide receiver.
Top 20. Dylan, a top 20 wide receiver.
And listen, you got to have a top 20 since you already got the number 1 in the game, Antonio Brown.
No. And he's questionable. And Matt Jones.
And just imagine if Michael knew what he was talking about. The season starts the 12th, and he's always freaking out because it's only the 30th right now.
You're killing me.
Jeez, Michael, I thought you had a little bit more knowledge than that.
Eddie Lacy can take his little overweight self back to the treadmill. Hold on, it's my turn, buddy. My little podcast friend. Eddie Lacy was not even good at Alabama.
Not even good? That just sounded like a kindergarten quote.
Okay. Oh, we're kindergartners now. Dylan, you're a kindergartner now.
Why? He hasn't said anything that dumb.
Oh, okay. Okay. Here's where you're losing me so badly. And you're losing to me at the same time.
Oh, am I? Because you don't even know his stats from 13 or 14.
I'm loving this podcast, by the way. The debates are incredible.
It's 100.
100.
105.
Kindergartners again.
Hour and 5. Eddie Lacy's rookie year, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns.
Okay.
You can do that all you want, but at the end of the day, the knockout speaks for itself.
Hey, do that again.
You can do that all you want, buddy, but at the end of the day, the knockout speaks for itself, and you hit the deck like a fantasy loser. That's what people do when they know they're wrong. Listen, Adam, that's what they do when they know they're wrong. That's what they do when they know they're wrong. That's what they do when they know they're wrong. Conversation done. Over.
You're terrible.
One.
Eddie Lacy was a product of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
We're not talking about college. Where is this coming from? He's in the NFL.
He had one good year where RG3 had a good year. What was he been in the last 10? 5, my bad, Mr. Jeffers.
What are you talking about? He's had 2 good years. He's been in the NFL for 3 years.
Where
is this coming from?
RG3 had 2 good years.
I'm talking about Eddie Lacy. What in the world does Eddie Lacy have to do with RG3? They're a quarterback and running back. I told you on this last podcast.
Eddie Lacy is garbage.
And I'm going to prove you that wrong because he was overweight and
he still got
758 yards last year and he was overweight?
He has a donut problem. That's a sad thing for an NFL player.
You're going to have a few donuts whenever you lose because 000 is what's going to pop up from your points on fantasy.
And I'm going to be doing a donut whenever I burn out for the win.
And what, a little Kia Forte you got?
Oh, thank you.
It's a beautiful car.
Your 2000
for a single wife that's 35.
Your 2001 Eclipse that came with custom rims.
Custom rims, or you mean custom wheels?
Whatever the heck you want to call it.
What kind of wheels are they too? Since you know so much about them.
Go ahead and tell me what kind of wheels, because you apparently didn't even know until you bought the car that you had them on there.
Oh, because I didn't put them on there, right?
Okay, but let's get back to football. This is crazy.
STR 520s.
Thank you.
People wondering.
Wow. Who put those on?
I did.
The Carfax owner? Oh, I'm getting a...
We're just going to leave that at the crickets, I guess.
Okay, so thank you. Eddie Lacy. You said Dwayne Allen. Now, in terms of talent, sure. In terms of production, no.
Okay, we can put this up for a very big question. You offered me Dwayne Allen for Eddie Lacy.
Okay.
And let's ask the people listening, is Eddie Lacy worth a Dwayne Allen trade? Which I don't think it is at all.
Yes.
Eddie Lacy's had 3 seasons. His first 2, 11 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns.
Is that why you wanted Dwayne Allen so bad?
No. What do you mean? I wanted Dwayne Allen in the draft before you selected him with auto draft, just because he's a Colt, not because you knew anything about him.
Right.
Because you didn't auto draft your whole team, right?
Actually, I did.
That's what I'm saying. I
took about 2 hours to make sure that my picks were going to be as high as I wanted them. So if Aaron Rodgers was available, I'd take him. If Golden Tate was available, I'd take him. If Ezekiel Elliott was the next guy, I'd take him, because I went through and I said, okay, if this guy's available, who do I want the very next player if they're available, and how high do I want that player? That's what I did. So I picked my team very well. I did not pick any irrelevant Eddie Lacy. I sent him to the bottom at number 903 to make sure I didn't get his sorry tail.
And that's why you're going to lose your football. Your football IQ doesn't match because you drafted. You got 4 Colts, 3 that are in the starting lineup. Dude, I'm telling you, nobody does that. That's like having Antonio Brown, Marcus Wheaton, and Sammy Coates all starting. Dwayne Allen he has a high ceiling. He got paid a 4-year, $40 million contract this offseason. I like what he can do at tight end. Are there better tight ends out there? Yeah. I lost with Travis Kelce and Rob Gronkowski. I obviously couldn't take them. But obviously I couldn't take them. So, you had, who else? You have 2 other tight ends, so it made no sense for you to carry. Yeah, one time you carried 3 tight ends, which is the dumbest thing in fantasy ever. And I was not going to give you Eddie Lacy. You think he's trash, but for some reason you wanted him for Dwayne Allen because you know he's going to be really good this year. Just like he was in 13 and 14.
I should read you the kick message that says, I want Dwayne Allen.
Who's denying that? I want Dwayne Allen. Is he worth Eddie Lacy? No.
Oh, come on. Who is worth Eddie Lacy? Tom Brady?
Eddie Lacy's in the, Tom Brady.
What?
They suspended the first 4 games.
Oh,
Eddie Lacy,
I'm not talking about the first 4. I think Tom Brady's going to have a heck of a year, by the way.
You can think that, but this is like one of your first years playing fantasy. But Eddie Lacy's in the... If you're thinking Eddie Lacy's like a garbage running back, you're really mistaken. You're really mistaken.
Not saying he's garbage, but I'm saying Dwayne Allen is not really a guy to be screwed with either. Dwayne Allen's going to have
Dwayne Allen's missed 21 of his first, 60 games? Yeah. So
what has Eddie Lacy missed?
He carried the ball over 240 times his first 2 years.
Self.
Whatever you say, he's got 717 carries his first 3 years. Plenty fun.
Okay, how many average yards per rush is he getting? Like 3?
4.3.
Wow.
Which is fine because he's got 23 touchdowns in 3 years. So
nice. Okay. My big thing about my fantasy team is that the bench is what makes my team.
And the bench makes my team.
I still cannot believe that you compared Marcus Wheaton and the other Coates guy or whatever you call him, the hoax is what I call him, to my Indianapolis players.
Well, no, I said you're carrying 3 Indianapolis players in your starting lineup. I said that's like me starting Antonio Brown and his number 2 receiver, Marcus Wheaton, which I think Marcus Wheaton is a lot better than Moncrief.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
With the targets that Moncrief is going to, not saying in general, but the targets that Moncrief is going to get is going to be incredible.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not saying Moncrief's bad, but I think Marcus Wheaton's going to have a really good year.
Okay, hold on just a minute. Please elaborate more on this Marcus Wheaton fella, because you know about him, right?
Yeah, Marcus Wheaton from Oregon State. He stepped up whenever Martavis Bryant came in, and he couldn't start right away because he was injured, didn't know the playbook. And Marcus Wheaton's obviously in that tier 2. It's basically like if he leaves, he's going to be the next Emmanuel Sanders. because Emmanuel Sanders, you saw he started vibing whenever he left Pittsburgh and went to Denver. And that's what'll happen if Marcus Wheaton leaves this year. And I think it's a contract year, so I think he's going to pop up with some big plays.
I sure hope so. My big thing: do you think big plays are worth it if the guy's not good anyways?
What?
Do you think it's worth it if the guy is not good anyways?
Who's not good?
I was saying, like, I don't think Marcus Wheaton is going to be targeted a lot.
I don't know why you say that. He's the number 2. Who else is there going to be to target? There's Antonio Brown, Eli Rogers, Sammy Coates, Marcus Wheaton, the tight ends Ladarius Green and Jesse James. There's not
By the way,
many other targets.
Check out my team now.
You changed the lineup, I'm guessing.
Check it. Dylan, are you enjoying this?
Yeah.
So you added Ted Ginn.
No. To my lineup, yeah. Check the bottom, dude.
Okay, so you added Marcus Wheaton.
4.
Huh?
4.
For what?
No, 4 for who's gone?
I don't know. You didn't. I just checked your lineup.
Moncrief.
Okay, so what's your point in this?
My point is, I'm holding you accountable to this. You're telling me Marcus Wheaton is going to have a great season.
Yeah.
I'm putting him on my team. And plus, I do like what you said about the Indianapolis guys, because I need to get rid of Frank Gore. Like, do you have anybody that's good for Frank Gore?
Honestly, Frank Gore is old. I wouldn't trade for Frank Gore. That's why I didn't draft him. I had the chance to draft him. I didn't draft him.
Well, everybody had the chance to draft him. My lord. I'm gonna look at these other teams, and I want to see, like, who you think. I'm gonna give me some names that you think are they gonna do well. You think Jamal Charles is worth it?
I think he's gonna split a lot of time with Sharkhendrick West and Spencer Ware.
So you don't think he's worth it?
Is he worth a Frank Gore?
No. Is he worth it? Is he worth anything?
He's not worth what he was drafted at.
Where did they draft him at?
If you click on his name, it'll say, and I think he went in the 2nd or 3rd round, which I would take him like 6 or 7 because of the injury.
Drafted 21st. Good lord.
Yeah, that's like second.
Third round. Third round, pick 1. Okay. You think? Okay. I'm getting to this. Tyrod Taylor.
He could be on the waivers all season, but I don't know why he was taken either. That he's got 3 quarterbacks. That's the dumbest strategy I've ever seen.
Oh, you're looking at Team Jackson too?
That's my cousin. I've already studied his team.
He studies his cousin. Sorry.
No, that's wrong. I study my opponents.
That's good. Okay. Oh my gosh! The Atlanta Eagles have Josh Gordon.
Yeah, and he's only suspended for 4 games.
Yeah. Here's some. Do you think the Seahawks defense will be good this year?
Top 10.
Top 10. I would take that, actually. Wait, did this guy? No, I did not just see this. I did not just... Okay, I thought that was like Chris Sims, the old quarterback.
Yeah.
That was bad. The Buccaneers... Was he the Buccaneers or whatever?
Yeah.
What Sims guy hasn't played on the Buccaneers?
Right.
Is Shady McCoy in Buffalo good enough?
See, Ian took that one, and Rex Ryan is a run first, run first head coach. So
yeah,
it could work, but it could also not work. I had LaShawn McCoy last year, and he didn't bust out until late in the season.
Yeah, I really cannot. I cannot stand LaShawn McCoy. Cannot stand. I don't think he's good. You like Blake Bortles a lot, don't you?
I like Blake Bortles a lot. Top 5 quarterback last year.
Just because he's really tall, right?
No, that's not the reason why. Who likes a quarterback because their size?
Everybody likes Cam Newton.
I don't.
Good. Okay. Amari Cooper.
Ian's really high on him, and me and Ian have been debating for years. Well, since he came out of the draft, so Ian will probably say something about that when he hears this, but no, I'm not high on Cooper, but Ian is.
I'm not either.
I was higher on the other guy that came out of the draft with him. That was Kevin White, and Kevin White didn't play down last year, but he will this year.
Who did Kevin White go for?
The Bears.
No, who did he play with?
Kevin White, I think he went to what? You'll have to look that up. I'm not sure. I think he went to Cincinnati or something.
I have to look it up?
Yeah, Google it.
Wow. Dylan.
This is going in the record books, folks.
Dylan Morocco.
Yeah.
Rico Jr. did not know where Kevin White went to college.
My guess was Cincinnati.
Cincy?
Yeah, I didn't have top of my head.
Okay, I gotta give you the whole world credit that Chris just made that. Oh, what do you think about this? Phillip Rivers, I think he's terrible.
I don't think he's terrible. North Carolina State prospect. He's been pretty good.
He's been pretty good.
Oh, he went to West Virginia. That's where Kevin White went. Okay.
Okay. Phillip Rivers.
I just answered that.
No, but my big thing is did you just say that he was good?
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good on the Chargers. Oh
and he's really good for what he's had around him. Yeah, really good.
Oh my goodness! I am not going to debate that one.
Debate it.
You want to?
Yeah.
Dylan and the fans, are you ready for this?
I think we are.
Phillip Rivers is garbage. You talk about garbage. Oh my, Chris! I never heard I never heard the word Phillip Rivers come out of your mouth, and I was so happy because I'm like, man, we agree on a lot of quarterbacks who are not good. When you just said Phillip Rivers for what you said around him is good.
Yeah, I really do shake my head at you because he's thrown for over 4,000 yards in 8 of the past 9 years. So I just really shake my head at you. And the guys had guys like Vincent Brown, Denario Alexander, like the most mentionable one that's been around him is Antonio Gates and Keenan Allen of now.
And Vincent Jackson.
And Vincent Jackson was there for, 2 or 3 years? And he's not top tier. I'd like to think that Keenan Allen is better than him. Sure, he's had good years.
With LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio Gates, that man could do nothing.
What does LaDainian Tomlinson have to do with throwing the ball?
What? The running back who can take some pressure off the quarterback? LT?
It was more as a referred to being receivers.
I'm going to explode. You cannot tell me that Phillip Rivers did not have a gift in Antonio Gates and tight end, just a blanket, and then he had a gift in LaDainian Tomlinson right behind him. You mean to tell me that Phillip Rivers had no chance to win with that team?
And they did win, but I don't know where you're hinting. It's not even. I don't know where you're coming from with this because it's not an offense. It's not one part of the team. It's the defense too. The defense had a lot of problems. They were playing the Colts with Manning, the Patriots with Brady, right there in their primes. You can't say that Phillip Rivers was okay. Well, you're expected to beat these teams when you have no defense. It makes no sense. They barely had any guys around them. Like I said, Gates was the only top target he had besides Jackson on that wide receiver. And he had guys like Eddie Royal again.
I say Eddie Royal and what he was doing in a little bit.
Point is, he's never had an Antonio Brown. He may now with Keenan Allen, which I'm not comparing Keenan Allen to Antonio Brown, but Keenan Allen was on pace for Julio Jones, Antonio Brown type numbers last year.
Keenan's a speedy wide receiver, isn't he?
Because
I know Tavon Austin is.
Yeah, and Keenan's nothing like that. Keenan's a big body.
Okay.
But anyways, over 4,000 yards 8 of the past 9 years, so I don't know where you're coming from. You don't just get 4,000 yards off the tip of your toenail.
Your toenail? Oh my gosh. This kid.
That's it, Chris.
Yeah. Dylan, do you have anything before we leave this Phillip Rivers fanatic?
I'm high on Rivers and Michael isn't, so there's that dispute.
Oh my gosh.
Not saying that Phillip Rivers is top 5. Not saying
You're good, because that's what I'm trying to say. If Phillip Rivers is a good quarterback, and to me that would be top 5, top 10.
You're asking if he's good. You didn't say, hey, is he a top 5 elite quarterback? No.
Is he a top 10?
Is he a top 10? Or are we talking, like
top
I said, he's had over 4,000 yards the past 8 of his 9 years with the guys he's had around him. It's pretty damn good.
He's also throwing interceptions.
He throws a little bit of interceptions.
A little bit.
He's had, 1 year where he's thrown 20?
Yeah. Here's a good thing. Do you think 11. I think Carson Palmer's worth it this year in the fantasy.
And Carson Palmer's been worth it last year.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. I think Carson Palmer, he never has really had a bad. I mean, has he had any bad years even with the Raiders?
I think he's every quarterback's had bad years, and he had a few with Cincy and a few with Oakland.
Then again, Peyton had a bad year last year.
Yeah, everybody has bad years. It's
But
not
I think Carson Palmer is a. I think he's a top 10, top 7 fantasy this year.
Top 7 fantasy total players or quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. I think Carson Palmer, with that gift, with that Jesus sent. No offense, Dylan. With that, I'm kidding.
None taken.
With that wonderfully invented Arizona Cardinals entire team, I would take Carson Palmer as a fantasy player.
I would too. He's got John Brown. From correction, I said it Penn State in the last podcast. It's Pittsburgh State. And
Right.
then you
Good
got
job.
Michael Floyd and you got Larry Fitzgerald. So, and then the run game's really there. The defense, yeah.
I think defense. Remember, I'm an LSU fan, and you know who he's got? Patrick Peterson and Tyra Matthew, the Badger.
Yeah,
the Honey Badger.
We covered it last podcast, but damn, their number 2 corner, Justin Bethel, got tore up by Will Fuller the other day in that preseason game versus the Texans.
Yeah. A Haitian for life? Jeez.
That's Kevin, one of my super truckers.
He has no quarterback starting on his fantasy yet.
Well, that's because he traded me Eli, so he's got Kirk Cousins, who is top 10, and he's got Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh yeah, you did get rid of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and I got Eli Manning.
I was yeah, that was a sad trade. I was disappointed that you actually had Kirk Cousins.
Well, nobody knows how to draft except me, so it was what it was.
Right, Kirk Cousins. Okay.
He was a top 10 quarterback, so I don't know what you're Kirk Cousins in about.
Okay, I'm not even gonna go there because he shouldn't even be mentioned in our podcast. He's not even worthy. Justin Forsett of Baltimore.
No, garbage.
Thank you. One good year. That's what I say. I'm on the last team now. Now that we're gonna have to split this podcast, dude. Sammy Watkins. Nobody seems to remember him.
Yeah, Clemson guy.
That's what I knew that was Clemson. I think Sammy Watkins. You think he's worth it in fantasy?
If I thought he was worth it, he'd be on my team.
Oh my gosh. I think Russell Wilson's going to have a heck of a year, by the way.
If I thought Russell Wilson was worth it, he'd be on my team.
Okay, that's it. Dylan, let me jump through the screen. Please move your thing so I can jump.
Do us a favor.
What?
Jump through the screen. Do us a favor.
Listen, Chris Jeffers, my podcast inmate. Why did you just badmouth Russell Wilson?
No, I gave him credit earlier when I said he was one of the few to be able to tear up defenses and still be figured out with his legs and his arm.
But you wouldn't take him over Kirk Cousins.
I wouldn't even consider Russell Wilson drafting. I haven't for the past two.
Oh,
crap, I forgot. You're the genius and I'm you. Sorry, you talk.
You, my friend, will take Russell Wilson under. We laughed. I can't believe this.
And it may come as a shocker to some, but I never said that. And you'll re-listen to this podcast and you'll listen. And I never said I would take Kirk Cousins over Russell Wilson. I said I would never consider taking Russell Wilson. I go into every single draft the same way I do, and that's why I win. I go in there and I consider taking Big Ben Roethlisberger in the 5th or 6th round. If he's gone, I'll wait for Blake Bortles or Eli Manning. They just so both happen to be gone. So I doubled it up and went with Kirk Cousins and Tony Romo. Then I traded, and I got a better quarterback, as the one I was looking about, Eli Manning.
I think Eli's going to triple what Kirk Cousins does.
Well, I don't see how you say that when Kirk Cousins was a top 10 quarterback last year.
Well,
I don't understand where you're coming from.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Kirk Cousins?
I have, actually.
But you've heard of Russell Wilson more, right?
Can't say I have.
What are you beatboxing on, Chris?
I'm not beatboxing. I'm just shaking my head. I'm face palming right now with your knowledge.
With my knowledge. There's no knowledge involved. It's just a simple eye test.
A simple eye test with a top 10 quarterback, and you're trashing him. 29 touchdowns, 11 picks, and he's only got better. Pierre Garçon, Deshaun Jackson, Josh Doxson, Jordan Reed. Good run game of Matt Jones. I don't understand how you dissed that. I really don't.
I may take Rivers over Cousins.
Ian is going to hear this and going to say, wow, Michael is saying... Ian's going to side with me on this. He's going to be like, wow, really? He's not a fan of Kirk Cousins? I'm not a fan of Kirk Cousins, but damn if the kid ain't a top 10 quarterback.
You are...
I know there's some of you that have those little fetishes that has to have a Cam Newton or a Russell Wilson because they can run and pass.
No.
But at the end of the day, I'm taking Big Ben over all of them, so I don't care.
I know you're going to take Big Ben. You take Big Ben over Tom Brady. You take him over Payne. You take him over
and it has worked out.
For your fantasy league.
That's why I'm always at the top looking down on everybody. Go ahead and crown me. Like I said, I told everybody a while back, crown me now. I knew it was game over at the beginning. Crown me now.
I'm literally going to stay up all night thinking about. I'm going to watch videos on the Michigan State manager in Kirk Cousins, and go ahead.
No, I was listening.
Okay, I'm going to look at the manager in Kirk Cousins. I'm going to see how well he's been able to throw 11 interceptions. He's a top 10 quarterback.
You do know in today's NFL, 11 isn't a lot, right? That's barely double digits.
But it is.
That's barely double digits.
And he only had 29 touchdowns. It's like he had 30.
I don't understand where you're coming from.
It's like he had 35 and 11. He had 20.
You
didn't
are
hit 30.
crazy.
He had 11.
And how many did little Matt Ryan have last year? 21. So it's really crazy.
I think Matt Ryan above him last.
So you must be saying that Andy Dalton is really, really good, right?
Oh heck no.
Okay, because he had 25 and 7 last year. Since Kirk Cousins had 29 and 11.
But going by that logic, you think Andy Dalton is a great quarterback?
Well, then, if you're going by that logic, you must think Matt Stafford's a really good quarterback.
Matt Stafford,
because he had more touchdowns and only 2 more interceptions.
Dude, you told somebody that's not able to be mentioned on the show. We will never mention the name Matt Stafford until he leaves the NFL because we're blessed. No offense, Dylan.
I think you're really just out of it right now.
I'm out of it. It's 2:00 in the morning, but no, I'm not. There was no. Oh my, Chris.
Are you guys hungry?
Huh?
I'm hungry and disappointed.
I'm hungry.
It's like 2 of the worst things ever.
I'm just mad. I love Chris. I think we're having a good podcast, but no. One more thing before we leave. Who in the world is Eric Ebron?
Tight end for the Lions. What about it?
I figured that, but like, what is your take on him? Because we got to leave on a good note. I've never heard of him.
Big body from North Carolina. Calvin Johnson's not there anymore. He was a first-round pick. I think this year he could be top target because Golden Tate's in there, Marvin Jones is in there, and then you got the first-round draft pick from 2014, Eric Ebron. And I thought the Steelers were going to be able to trade up and grab him. They didn't. It would work. It would pay off by now, but yeah, we'll see. I think the Lions will make good use of him this year. But he's had a lot of competition with Joseph Fourier over there and Brandon Pettigrew.
I'm going to give you this credit. I do think I'm glad you mentioned that Megatron leaving thing. I thought it was good for him that he did leave because he's had a good year, and it's not like the Lions were making a Super Bowl anytime soon. Of course, anything could happen, but it isn't the NBA. I'm glad that you did mention because I think Golden Tate is going to have a good year.
Yeah, I think so too.
If fantasy-wise, I'm going to tell him, nobody's going to recognize it in the NFL regularly, but I think that Golden Tate, with Megatron gone, that was nasty. With Megatron gone, who else is there, besides Golden Tate?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to say, is Golden Tate going to put up the same numbers Megatron did? No.
I do. Obviously, that's not even a question. But I do think. I think I have Golden Tate.
Yeah, you do.
See, that's why I picked him, because I'm like, I mean, if Matt Stafford's going to throw to anybody to not throw 55 interceptions this year, he's going to throw it to Golden Tate.
Or Marvin Jones, or Ebron, or Theo Reddick, or Amir Abdullah.
See, I'm more. Who's better, Abdullah or Reddick in your eyes? I'm going to go with you on this one.
They're gonna mix it up a little bit. Right now, Amir Abdullah's got the starting job.
Yeah, I got Abdullah.
But I like Reddick more.
Okay. Okay, there you go. It's time to go, right?
An hour and 32 minutes, 33, excuse me. I feel like we couldn't have ended. Is there anything y'all want to say before we cut it? Is there a clever quote one of you guys want to throw in and make everybody laugh and say, ha ha ha, that's Michael Giggle Shoes?
There it was, right?
That's Michael. Okay, because I know y'all like the tip of the toenail quote from me, so that'll probably get printed on a t-shirt and tweeted about. By the way, trending worldwide right now, tip of your toenail.
It is not.
Tony Totep.
Tony Totep.
It is not.
It is not, but it will be. Okay, so...
Get out of my face. Okay, guys, this has been the MC Experience with a D inside. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, no.
That's awful.
That was terrible.
This has been Michael Karvelis, Chris Jeffers, and Dylan Morocco. Thank you, Dylan, for being on the show today. We had some fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We had some religion. I mean, Tyra Banks and religion. That was incredible, Chris. That was good. That was the best quote all day.
Next thing y'all know, when y'all come back, we'll be filing taxes.
Get out.
By the way, we're going to have some Keebler Elves here with us talking next time.
Who?
Huh? Anyways, always evolving _ at Twitter.
Michael Karvelis on Twitter. Dylan Morocco, are you in the social networking universe?
Not Twitter, no.
Just lay your social security out there for him.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching. If you did on YouTube, peace out. Goodbye.
Take it easy.
See?